Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You're listening to Daily C1 English Vocabulary. My name is Emma.
And my name is Tom.
In today's episode, we're exploring a new set of advanced words and idioms that will help you sound more precise and confident in both professional and everyday English.
We'll unpack their meanings, share natural examples, and show you how to use them in different contexts. You may have heard these words before, but you don't actively use them in your own speech. Today we're going to change that.
Our first word is leverage. This is both a noun and a verb, and it's incredibly common in professional English.
Leverage has a fascinating origin. It comes from the word lever, a simple tool or bar that helps you move heavy objects.
Picture this. You have a long, sturdy bar and a pivot point, called a fulcrum. When you push down on one end of the bar, the other end lifts up with much greater force. It's basic physics, but incredibly powerful.
So leverage literally meant the mechanical advantage or extra power you gain from using a lever. You're putting in a small amount of effort, but achieving a much bigger result. And that's exactly where the metaphorical meaning comes from.
Today, when we talk about leverage in business or everyday life, we mean the power, influence, or advantage you can use to achieve something bigger than you could on your own. Just like that lever multiplying your physical strength, leverage in a figurative sense multiplies your ability to get results.
For example, the company's strong reputation gave them leverage in the negotiations. She used her industry connections as leverage to secure the partnership. The large initial investment gave the company significant leverage in negotiating future deals.
As a verb, to leverage something means to use it strategically to maximum advantage. You'll hear this all the time in business contexts. For example, we need to leverage our existing customer base to promote the new product.
He leveraged his experience in marketing to transition into a management role. The startup leveraged social media to boost sales overnight. I'm trying to leverage my language skills to find better job opportunities.
Common collocations include gain leverage, have leverage, use leverage, leverage resources, leverage technology.
Compared to use or utilize, the verb leverage suggests a strategic and efficient use to create a significant benefit or advantage. It implies getting more out of less. It has a positive professional tone. It suggests you're being smart and efficient, not just using something randomly.
Let's move to our second noun, itinerary. Itinerary means a detailed plan or schedule of a journey, showing places to visit, times, and activities. For example, the travel agent sent us a complete itinerary for our 2-week trip to Japan. Or, according to the itinerary, we'll arrive in Rome at 10 a.m. and have a guided tour at 2 p.m.
It's most commonly used for travel, but you can also use it for business trips or event schedules. For instance, the conference itinerary includes 3 keynote speeches and several networking sessions. The meeting itinerary covered 5 main discussion points. In casual conversation, you might say, "Do we have a strict itinerary, or can we be flexible?" Professional context. Please review the itinerary and confirm all flight times.
Common collocations include follow an itinerary, create an itinerary, stick to the itinerary, a detailed itinerary. Compared to schedule or plan, itinerary specifically refers to a structured, step-by-step route or sequence of events, especially involving movement or travel. It feels slightly more formal and is commonly used in professional or organizational contexts.
Let's shift smoothly to our verbs. We will start with a verb that's essential in modern business language: streamline.
To streamline something means to make a process, system, or organization more efficient by simplifying it and removing unnecessary steps or complications. For example, the company streamlined its hiring process by reducing the number of interview rounds. The word comes from the physical concept of a streamlined shape. like a sleek, aerodynamic design that reduces resistance in water or air. Think of a dolphin or a modern sports car. But metaphorically, it's all about efficiency and smooth operation.
We need to streamline communication between departments to avoid delays. By streamlining our supply chain, we reduced costs by 20%. In everyday life, I'm trying to streamline my morning routine so I'm not always rushing. Common collocations include streamline operations, streamline processes, streamline production, streamline procedures. Compared to simplify or improve, streamline specifically emphasizes removing complexity and making things flow more smoothly. It has a modern, professional sound.
Our next verb is emerge, which means to come out from somewhere, to appear, or to become known or visible. In its literal physical sense, emerge means to come out from a hidden or enclosed space. For example, the sun emerged from behind the clouds, or a figure emerged from the shadows. But it's used very frequently in figurative contexts as well. It can mean to become known or apparent.
New evidence has emerged in the investigation. She emerged as a leader in the tech industry. After months of debate, a clear strategy began to emerge. Important lessons often emerge from our failures. It can also suggest surviving or recovering from a difficult situation. The company emerged from bankruptcy stronger than before. Compared to appear or arise, emerge often suggests a gradual process, something coming into view or existence over time.
Moving to adjectives. The first one is redundant. The word redundant describes something that is no longer needed, useful, or essential. If something is redundant, you can remove it without causing a problem.
For example, having 3 managers doing the same job seemed redundant. Please check the report for any redundant information that we can cut. The old filing system became redundant after we adopted cloud storage.
In a technical or linguistic sense, redundancy refers to repetition that adds no new information. For example, saying free gift is redundant. A gift is already free. In the UK, it is also a formal term meaning losing your job because your position or role is no longer needed by the company, not because of poor performance. The company made several employees redundant after merging departments.
Common collocations include make someone redundant, redundant information, redundant systems, become redundant. Compared to unnecessary or excessive, redundant often implies duplication or repetition. It can also suggest that something was once useful but is no longer needed.
Let's move to another important adjective, saturated. It means completely soaked with liquid, or in a metaphorical sense, completely filled to capacity with no room for more. In its literal sense, the ground was saturated after 3 days of heavy rain. Or, use a saturated sponge to clean the surface. But you'll hear it very often in business and marketing contexts. A saturated market means there are already too many competitors or products with no room for growth. For example, the smartphone market is becoming saturated, so companies are struggling to increase sales. The noun form is saturation. The market has reached saturation.
Common collocations include saturated market, saturated with, become saturated, saturation point. Compared to full or filled, saturated emphasizes complete absorption or maximum capacity. There's absolutely no room for more. In marketing, we're looking at emerging markets because developed markets are saturated. In everyday contexts, the media is saturated with news about the election. In chemistry, a saturated solution cannot dissolve any more solute.
Let's move on to adverbs. The first one is fundamentally. It means in a basic, essential, or central way, at the most important level. For example, the two proposals are fundamentally different in their approach. Or, I fundamentally disagree with that policy.
Common collocations include fundamentally different, fundamentally change, fundamentally disagree. The related adjective is fundamental, meaning basic and essential. Trust is fundamental to any relationship. In academic contexts, this research fundamentally challenges our understanding of the topic. In business, the company needs to fundamentally rethink its strategy. In debates, we fundamentally disagree on this issue. Compared to basically or essentially, fundamentally is more formal and carries more weight. It emphasizes the core nature of something.
Our next adverb is swiftly, which means quickly or rapidly, with speed and smoothness. For example, the government responded swiftly to the crisis. Or, she swiftly packed her bags and left. Swiftly often implies not just speed, but also efficiency and decisiveness. There's a sense of smooth, purposeful movement.
Common collocations include move swiftly, act swiftly, respond swiftly. The related adjective is swift, a swift response or swift action. Compared to quickly or rapidly, swiftly sounds slightly more formal and often suggests elegant or efficient speed rather than just rushed movement. Think of a swift bird gliding through the air. In business, management must act swiftly to address the problem. In everyday context, the waiter swiftly brought our drinks.
Wrapping up with two useful idioms. Our first one, turn over a new leaf. To turn over a new leaf means to make a complete change in your behavior or attitude, typically for the better. It means to abandon bad habits and start again with a fresh, positive approach. The expression comes from the idea of turning the page in a book or notebook to start a new, clean page.
For example, after his accident, he decided to turn over a new leaf and focus on his health. Or, the company is turning over a new leaf with its new environmental policies. This idiom is used when someone makes a genuine effort to change for the better. It's about personal transformation or reform. Compared to phrases like start fresh or make a change, turn over a new leaf has a more dramatic, redemptive quality. It often implies overcoming past problems.
In personal contexts, I'm turning over a new leaf this year. No more procrastination. In professional settings, the organization is turning over a new leaf with more transparent leadership. It is almost always used in a positive sense. It's about improvement, not just any kind of change.
Finally, let's finish with another useful idiom, low-hanging fruit. This refers to tasks, goals, or opportunities that are easy to achieve or obtain because they require minimal effort. The metaphor comes from fruit trees. The fruit on the lower branches is easiest to pick, while the fruit higher up requires more effort. For example, let's focus on the low-hanging fruit first, the clients who are already interested in our product. Or, reducing office supply costs is low-hanging fruit compared to restructuring the entire department.
This expression is extremely common in business and project management. It's about identifying quick wins and easy improvements. Common collocations include go after the low-hanging fruit, pick the low-hanging fruit, focus on low-hanging fruit. Compared to saying something is easy or simple, low-hanging fruit specifically suggests strategic prioritization. You're choosing the easiest targets first to build momentum or show quick results.
Our sales team should target low-hanging fruit in the first quarter. Answering those emails is low-hanging fruit I can do right now. Let's tackle the low-hanging fruit before addressing the more complex issues.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've covered some really versatile vocabulary today. Leverage, itinerary, streamline, emerge, redundant, saturated, fundamentally, swiftly, turn over a new leaf, low-hanging fruit.
Try using these words this week. Maybe plan an itinerary for your next trip, or think about how you could streamline something in your daily routine. And remember, learning vocabulary is low-hanging fruit when it comes to improving your English.
Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.